remember what it was I was gonna do in the solo. You know, these little pieces I gotta glue them together. I think each time we tour, we do something a little different. You know, last time I went overboard with, it was really 3 drum sets glued together because the stage rotated and whichever one happened to face forward was the one I played. Well, if somebody misses it and somebody has, Al, will you please put about 20 more drums up there? Maybe. It's like a real one of a kind. It's a hollow body 6-string bass and one of these hooked onto it. It's really difficult to come up with a new body design, you know? So I kind of took a Les Paul, a Telecaster, and a Strat, and just kind of drew out what I thought I would like. And to be honest, God, truth, I don't care if anyone buys them or not, you know, because at least I got a fleet of guitars that I like.
Al's drum set, very industrial. It rises up, and there's more of this underneath, about 16 versions of this. I can play the drums too. Watch it. This is my little domain. As a matter of fact, this is real important. These speakers are for vocals, just my voice. I don't need the band in there. And the 2 in front there for my guitar, because my guitar speakers are underneath there. So when I play, I'm strapped here, and I can hear myself. This truss is not going to be this low, normally. Eddie's new amps, 5150s. I'd say that's enough. This is my guitar player, new guy in the band. His name's Eddie. Oh, excuse me. This area's roped off. There's been an accident over here. And this is Eddie's domain, which is all packed up. If you believe all that stuff is just amplification and effects. You see, everyone thinks Eddie's so good. Without this stuff, he can't play worth crap. Oh, no, let me introduce you to my new drummer over here. What's your name? Wait a minute. What's his name? What's this guy? Alex. Yeah. I keep forgetting your name. He's a new drummer in the band. He's doing real good, though. Alex.
See what happens? Trying to be a comedian.
The only thing I got to say is that we haven't played a show yet, so it's like I'm kind of learning all this myself.
Here we are at the Atlanta, the Lakewood Amphitheater in sunny Atlanta, Georgia. Right before the show, go like.
Okay, one more time.
Okay. Okay, 3 seconds.
Thing's out of tune.
No, it's not. The guitar is great. Eddie's just playing real bad. The tools to satisfy, to walk away. If I fall shy at all.
That was the last song we did on OU812, and Eddie was over at my house. We lived next door to each other at the beach, and him and I were sitting there, and he had an acoustic guitar, and I just said, you know, let's write an acoustic tune. And we did, right there, boom. We wrote that song together on the spot, and we decided to keep it acoustic and with big drums, and I love that song. I love the way it sounds. To me, you know, Van Halen always throughout their career, first album, you know, Eddie did his little guitar things. There's always something new on each album, and then when you heard Jump for the first time, you went, oh, they did it again. Well, to me, Finish What You Started was that. It was us playing, sounding different, but the same guys. And we can do it every time. On the new album, I think we've done it again 3 or 4 times on this album, but I think that's the forte of Van Halen. We can play any kind of music.
Come on, baby, finish what you started. That's right. I'm incomplete. That ain't a way to treat the broken-hearted. I need some,
Alex, Mike, and Sammy are like family. They're my brothers. They really are.
That's about all I have to say, really.
I haven't actually seen any of the lighting moves yet, so it's like going to be new to me. I'll probably be playing half the show like this. Wow, look at that. You see that move? You know? But we have, you know, the main focus has always been on the band. So we do have some really great lighting effects. and a little bit of pyro, but just to accent what we're doing. You know, it's not like one flash pot after another. You know, it's just made to enhance. And then plus the fact we'll probably be doing a couple of older songs of ours and of Sammy's that we haven't done before. So it's nothing added surprise.
So I want to tell people, MTV is the most wonderful thing that ever happened to rock and roll, except it's the hardest work that rock and roll bands have ever had to do. They had a 40-foot platform that spun at 12 miles an hour. Now, something that big spinning that fast, when you're on the end of it, it almost threw you off.
When you start running along the outside edge of it the same way, it was like a couple of times I almost went right off the edge of it. They kept saying, well, it stayed kind of close to the center because the inertia's not, it's not pulling you as hard. Well, nah, come on. My favorite ride's the ride where the floor drops out, you stick to the wall, right? So no problem. So I did it, and I'm just like kind of just moshing around the outside, and whoop, I slipped, and I almost like became part of the backdrop scenery.
One thing I think that sometimes people forget is even though we joke around a lot and we act like a bunch of, well, whatever it is that we're kind of looking like right here, we take the music very, very seriously. I mean, it's not a career, it's not a job, it's our life, and we grew up listening to some of the best, what we thought was the best music, and hopefully we can perpetuate that.
These are the Tridents. In case you don't know it, they're Americans, and they just got back. They just got back from Desert Storm, where they kicked a lot of butt, listened to a lot of Van Halen, a lot of rock and roll in general, and we're proud to have them here at the opening show, and it was as our special guests.
We're stationed at Jacksonville, Florida. We're here to see Van Halen, and they invited us down, and we're real excited. They were a big part of our cruise. We listen to their music, and we're just glad to be here today.
My day's going beautiful. I got Sammy Hagar's shirt. I got every signature here. Couldn't be no better.
We spent 8 months on the Saratoga in the Red Sea, and well, it's just a great deal to come be with Van Halen. I can't believe it. Of course, their music motivated everybody during the war, believe it or not, and it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable honor to be here today.
I love Summer Nights. I mean, just the harmonies and the whole vibe about that sound. Just, and then we were playing it on Monsters of Rock. It was just like, that's summertime. I hear it on the radio. I put the disc in. It's like, makes me want to drive fast, just put the top down, and get me a ticket.
Simply said, God is Ed, you know what I'm saying?
I came all the way from New York for the first show of Van Halen. It's gonna be the best, man.
Van Halen is the best. Pound Cake is unreal. Best damn CD I've ever heard in my life.
It's great. It's one of the ultimate highs when you hit the stage. The excitement when it happens and all that is something you can't get from any other thing.
Hi, I'm Kurt Loder, and this is The Day in Rock. With its chart-topping album For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge still firmly lodged in the Billboard Top 10, Van Halen launched a world tour in Atlanta this past weekend. In a very slow summer for concert ticket sales, this show was an almost immediate sellout, and our own Tabitha Soren was on hand to find out why.
What a way to make a living. It's been about 2.5 years since Van Halen's been on the road. They say they're nervous about this tour, but it doesn't really sound like it. How's rehearsal been going so far, Sammy? You just arrived? It's not that bad. You sound pretty good, actually.
I hate rehearsing. Rehearsing is one of the lowest things on this planet that a person should have to do.
wing everything we do. Even when we make a record, we don't really know what the hell we're doing. Believe it or not, when Sammy first joined the band about 6 years ago, the first show, all hell broke loose, and we were just like, you know, going like that. And it's like, sometimes we got to like watch out to not bump heads and run into each other, you know?
You didn't expect them to be as wild on stage as they were?
Oh, no, I knew they were, and I knew I was too. It just that we had never talked about it, you know, because I never rehearsed a show either.
During a summer where tours are being canceled because they aren't drawing enough people, Van Halen's first 6 dates have already sold out. Sammy Hagar is tired of hearing other bands blame the economy for poor sales.
I'm sorry, but a lot of them aren't worth the money, and I think the people are just not stupid. I think the fans are just getting, they've seen a lot of rock for 20 years now, you know, and they've been seeing a lot of different shows, and they know who's good and who isn't.
This is the first show of the tour, and we got to see them. It's all there's to it. We're going to 3 more shows after this.
They don't have a front man now. They just, you know, they're a band now.
Before, you know, you saw David Lee Roth prancing around in tight pants, trying to be king of the hill. Now it's a band.
We're going to do some of the older stuff. I prefer to call it not older, but the previous stuff. It was all written by Ed, so there's absolutely no reason why we shouldn't play it.
In addition to Van Halen oldies, they'll also play some of Sammy Hagar's solo hits. The first leg of Van Halen's tour lasts for 6 weeks at mostly outdoor arenas.
The vibe's always really great, especially if it's a nice night. You know, I always love playing outdoors. Usually by the end of a tour, we'll have it all polished and shiny and happening. And then we'll go, okay, now we got it ready for next year.
Van Halen will play Pittsburgh's Star Lake Amphitheater on Tuesday night.